Hey guys, I'm Joe, and this is a Bradford built fence. All right, so today we're at Devo Bend here in Maumelle, and this is a new construction area. Here behind us, they've got all kinds of new construction going on. This particular fence was mainly for their dogs, but also for privacy. The combination of those two is why we went with this particular Trex composite material. This is a composite fence. It's privacy, obviously. The manufacturer of this is Trex, which is one of the most trusted names in composite. So what the composite means is that this is a manufactured board. So it is a combination of a process of putting wood fibers together with some sort of thermoplastic, like a PVC or polyethylene. That gives it some of the kind of texture and wood grain, and I guess not wood, but the texture and kind of natural aspects of some wood, but it's got the stability of actually a manufactured product. So this is not gonna warp or bow or twist. It's not gonna be porous enough where it's gonna expand and contract with moisture cycles and heat and cold cycles. So it's gonna be a very stable product. You're not gonna have a bunch of moving. You're gonna keep nice straight lines. And the benefit of that is very long lasting. Also, it comes in a color itself, so you're not having to come back and stain or maintain this. So there's a few different colors available. This is the woodland brown. There's also a gray color and more of a kind of tan color, khaki, that is available in this product. This is gonna be super durable, very long lasting. The other thing that's really nice about this particular product is the picket design is overlapping. So these pickets overlap themselves. You're not gonna get shrinkage in these boards like you would with wood and have gaps that you're gonna see through. So all of this is completely private. So that was very important for this particular location, because I don't know if you can hear it, but they're doing work to add more homes directly behind this house. And so the privacy was of the utmost importance here. And that really offers just the ultimate privacy with those overlapping boards. So this particular Trex material, this is their seclusion line, which is a privacy with vertical pickets. It comes with this nice cap board and all the posts. These are 5x5 posts that each have a cap, so they're nice and capped and finished in a nice clean look with, again, like we talked about, with very private. They also have options to do, there's a couple other, their Horizons and their Solitude line that are a horizontal. So a similar product, but you can run the horizontal pickets and get more of a modern look and some different options there. This material is eco-friendly as well. It's made out of 95% recycled material. It also is not gonna splinter. So like if you got kids or dogs up against this, unlike a wood, you're not gonna rub up against this and get splinters in your hand. It does have some texture, but nothing that's gonna pop out or splinter or hurt somebody. You're never gonna have to sand or paint or stain this. It's insect and bug resistant, so you're not gonna have bugs that come in and try to eat on this stuff and deteriorate this product. It comes with a 25-year warranty in a residential setting like we are here today. All right, so for installation on this Trex fence, the first thing you're gonna be doing is laying out our post spacing and digging and setting our posts. So before any of this was here, we dug and set these posts first. So that's similar to like you would do a wood or steel fence. We're setting those posts, making sure our posts are long enough to accommodate the proper height, and letting that concrete set up. Then we come back and there's a particular height that we're shooting for to be off the ground, but we use a jig to go through. We run a top line, top string, and use a jig that's just giving us our spacing from the ground up. And all that's doing, what we're watching there is we're trying to make sure that the top of this fence flows. We're always kind of walking that tightrope of, does the top of the fence flow and have a good line, but also we're not trying to have huge holes underneath or be too close to the ground. So we're trying to keep that consistent without having a change in the top line with every little undulation of the ground. So anyway, we use that, we run our top lines to do that and make sure that we're flowing well. And then we come in, the first thing is once we get our heights set, we trim our post to those heights, and then from there we measure down, and there's brackets at each post for this top rail and for this bottom rail. So it's got a bracket, internal bracket, and then the next step is we start with this bottom rail, and if you can barely see, but there's inside of this piece, this is like a sleeve on the outside, there's a metal aluminum rail. So that bottom rail, the internal part of it is a full aluminum rail from post to post, and that just gives the strength of the section. It supports everything from here up. And then these pieces right here, it's actually a two-part piece. There's one on the inside here and one on the outside that attaches to that aluminum rail. Then from there you go to your pickets, and these pickets are somewhat of like a C-channel, so they kind of interlock around each other. So we start at the post, and you actually screw your first picket through that channel to the post here on this end, and then on the other end as well. And then you're interlocking those and flip-flopping, which direction these pickets go. As you see, they're alternating. There's one on the inside, one on the outside, going down all the way along to fill in your panel. Then from there, you're putting on your top cap. So this is a molded piece. It's all one piece, this cap and these two trim pieces, and it all just fits on top of that picket. Then from there, you're using some finish nails on the outside, and here you can see a couple of the spots where you're going in just with some 2-inch finish nails and actually tacking this top on and holding these pickets in place so that everything's secure and in place, and then it gives it a nice finish. All right, so here, let's check out the gate on this. It's similar to the fence panels that we just went through. Now the cool thing about these gates is you can't see any of it, but there's a fully welded internal metal frame in these, so they're super solid, super rigid. They're not going to twist or bow. So that's a fully welded metal frame inside of that these hinges screw into and actually are attached to that metal, so it's all tied together. Outside of that, these pieces sandwich that metal frame. These pickets go in similarly to match the fence style, and then you've got these adjustable hinges that can be tightened or loosened to adjust your spacing and your kind of pitch of the gate. And then here with a typical kind of wood, or not a wood, but a post latch here can open up, and then we got spots on both the front and the back where you could put a padlock to lock this up. Actually, before we came here today, the homeowner unlocked it because they keep it locked for their dogs. So they on the inside, so it's only accessible from the inside, would typically have a lock there so that nobody could come and open it from the outside, and the dogs couldn't accidentally hit that up and the gate come open. Also on these gate setups, these hinge posts, anytime we have a hinge post for the gate, these have an internal metal post inside of them. So this is a 5x5 composite post, and the inside of that is a 3.5 by 3.5 metal post that gives this the structure and support, and then also allows for us to be able to have something behind this composite to screw these screws into that metal and get a nice good hold for our hinges that our gate's hanging off of. So for this particular project, not only the privacy along here, but a big important thing was the dogs. They have 3 dogs that they wanted to contain, and so with the perimeter fence, they needed something that was very durable and sturdy, and so that's why they went with the Trex material. But also another cool thing about this is around this corner they have a doggy door, so they wanted to do a separation between the main yard here and then the dog area over here. So this is a real popular style of fence that we do. This is a 4 foot tall. You can do a 4 foot and 5 foot, but this is what we call a living fence, which that just refers to the wire where if you wanted some privacy, you could have vines or things growing on here. But this is a wood frame with the metal So you got the durability of the metal and just a cool, clean look with the wood frame, a good contrast there. And it works well for dog containment. Also works well when you want to preserve a view. If you've got like a back area with trees or pond or something like that you don't want to obstruct the view, this is a really good option for that. For more fences like this, go to bradfordfencing.net, use our online estimator and get an instant quote on a fence just like this.